What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916, getting down with Fresh Out. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Go to freshoutseries.com, pick you up some merch, represent, and wash your ass. I'm here with my good friend Rick Duchovny, kicking game, sharing insight on life experiences. And this man immigrated over here, young age, from Ukraine. Now, I've seen very few shows out there that have interviewed anybody from Ukraine, so getting this firsthand, this is going to be a good one, you guys. Get your popcorn. Rick, can you share with our audience a little bit about, like, you know, growing up in Ukraine before you guys immigrated over here, and just like family members and what you think about what's going on right now with Ukraine?
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. I'm an open book, so whatever you want to know. I'm not like super political, and I came over to the States when I was 4.5, right? We left when it was the Soviet Union, communist Soviet Union, Iron Curtain, no information in, no information out. We were the first of our family.
What did your dad do over there?
Both of my dad was a engineer, or engineering major, but did odd jobs because it was like whatever job you get, you do it. He drove a taxi, I mean, just all kinds of jobs, just hustling. So when we came over here, he was a truck driver at first. Used like a fake license that he got from a friend for like the first year.
Yeah.
You know, because we had to make money.
What made him want to come to America?
I think it was couldn't be worse type of attitude. Like, it can't be worse. Because honestly, nobody knew what it really was, right? And the only reason they let us out in 1978 because we're Jewish, so they were letting Jewish refugees out.
Wow, it's hard to get out of there, huh?
Yeah, in preparation for the 1980 Olympics, because they were trying to show the world that they weren't anti-Semitic. Oh, so that's we kind of like applied, and we got lucky. We got like a lottery, and we left with no money, no information. Wow, you know, propaganda. So to me, like, Soviet Union was like one block. So when I was here, I would always tell people, you know, I speak Russian. I don't speak Ukrainian because we weren't allowed to speak Ukrainian at the time. So I always felt like we were one people, like Russians, Ukrainian. We have Russian friends, we have Ukrainian friends. But now it's just crazy how the divide happened, and it's all political, right? It's the politicians, you know, using people as pawns.
What are their agenda over there? Because I mean, you've talked to people who can't come over since the whole Ukraine-Russia conflict. I mean, what do you see going on?
I mean, it's all like, you know, terror. Who knows, man? Yeah. I don't know what's in the
ultimate.
Putin's head is definitely like an intelligent, scary person, right? And I won't even try to guess what really is going on in the background in the politics. But it's all like territory acquisition. It's, you know, being able to defend yourself as a country, and then using that as an excuse to take territory. I mean, you know, and just the fact that we still live in a time where that's the solution. Do you know what I mean? Like in the United States, if you don't agree, you go to court. You don't like go to war. You don't get the guns out. Well, you know, but like, it's crazy how we live in a world still. Like, I'm just saying we're advanced technologically, but we're really still living in like the you know, the ancient times. I feel
it appears like you said, a lot of peacocking, where people, you know, countries flex on each other to see who can do what, but at the same time, it seems like, you know, on one end you have, like, I just read something where they said BlackRock invested billions because they already bought property over there, so they're already looking for the development. So of course the financial side is over there. And then
where in Russia?
In Ukraine.
In Ukraine.
They've already, Zelensky got like, I forgot how many billions. I just read an article from BlackRock where they've already got contracts. So here we go. You know what I mean? They've already sold out, you know, like, I forgot, 30% of the country already been bought, property. So, and then you have, you know, Russia, you know, saying like, okay, you guys violated a treaty by having NATO cross over into here,
right?
And then Russia saying, well, would that be any different than if we set up in Mexico and had, you guys wouldn't like that, right? You know, so it's like, you guys violated us, but you don't want to respect us, but you want us to respect you. So, and I'm not saying I'm pro-Russian. I'm just saying that's what they're saying. Russia's saying, like, hey man, it's imagine if China had a military base down in in Mexico or right here in Canada? I mean, would we be like, oh, we're cool
That's
with
what
that?
I'm saying, man. There's
So it's
two
kinda-
sides to the argument.
yeah.
Like we've sponsored 2 Ukrainian families coming over here, right? I don't want there to be war. I don't want people to die. I think it should be our last resort. But I definitely don't understand the details enough to know what the fuck is really going on.
Yeah.
Right? Like the politics, like I said, unfortunately, like most of the wars that happen, most of the wars we get involved in, right? It's usually about like, money somehow.
Or financial. They don't care about little people.
Territory, power.
Yeah.
Right? And when somebody's imposing themselves on you, what do you do? So there's 2 sides to the argument.
Yeah,
It's like, well, hey, you guys are setting up bases where you shouldn't be, according to an agreement. So who do you believe, right?
Yeah,
I just feel like there's got to be. Do you think we can evolve to a better way of handling these situations?
well,
like a world court order?
It was it's supposed to be something of a balance, but then at the same time, it seems like, I don't know, in the last couple of years, it's been a big push to put everybody into a vortex, into a funnel, and they want everybody just to bow down. It's like at every angle. Now, when you got rid of one situation, let's start another one. Get everybody, so you can never get your footing. I mean, we just went through that other stuff where they're trying to say, a lot of it was uncalled for. A lot of people lost their businesses. A lot of people were, unemployed. A lot of people lost family members. All type of craziness, man.
Right.
And then you got whistleblowers now coming out saying all kind of stuff.
Right.
But yet you're still pushing now. And then once that gets, we're gonna jump to this.
Right.
Let's get you guys over here. Get you guys trapped and get in the war. So all you young people kill you. And so it's like always like, damn, when does it stop? It doesn't stop. Because the people at the top, they don't really care. So their whole thing is power. It's not about money no more. They have money. Their generations, 2-3 trust funds. It's not even about that. It's about the power.
It's a game of power.
It's a game of power, and it's to keep us arguing about this shit.
Right.
About us going at it. If it's not Ukraine or Russia, it's white supremacists.
Right.
Or the immigration, the border right now, going crazy. Literally it's like, oh, we're going to just give them cell phones, give everybody this. I'm like, damn, I might as well go across the border, come back. Right. I can go live for free, for real. I was telling my partner, man, we should go down there, go hang out for a little while. Hey, man, I'm from Nigeria. People said I look like I'm African. Right. I can come back, get me a cell phone. I'll get, they got an app and it gives me all the jobs. I can go get bussed over to Chicago and stay in some hotel, nice hotel, 6 months, no rent. 6 months, no rent. Yeah. Rich, you can do pretty good off that. Right. Stack money over I mean, how crazy, but we're kicking veterans out.
I said we make a podcast out of it.
Yeah.
Hit the road, baby.
Yeah, the immigration podcast.
Hey, can we survive on immigration grants alone?
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's crazy. So it's like, damn, this shit is crazy, man. And I mean, because your family immigrated over here, and so you've seen it, and you guys, assimilated into America, and
it wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy. Yeah, so I can only imagine like what's going on now, man. But like you said, growing up, during, when you came over here and how hard it is for your father providing for the family, I mean, how are you guys able to make it and also find some type of balance with becoming American citizens and having some type of, like you said, patriotism behind this country or pride in this country, because you came over here from Ukraine, you consider yourself Russian, but now you're over here and you're like, I'm American.
Yeah, well, Ukrainian. Just to be clear.
Excuse me.
See, I got to be really. Now I'm like, no, I'm Ukrainian.
Yeah.
I'm Russian because they didn't know where Ukraine was.
Yeah. Now
if I say Ukraine, they're like, what? I'm like Russian.
Okay.
Now I'm like, no, Ukraine. You can beat up for people.
Yeah.
But no, I love Ukrainians and Russians. I don't take sides, man. I just want us to get along. But anyway, that was a crazy time. We were the first of our family, and then eventually, like, we helped other families come over, like our cousins and aunts and uncles. But honestly, man, we came from a tough life. Everybody was pretty much super poor in Ukraine. Like, we lived in a tiny bedroom with me, my mom, dad, my brother, my grandma. One bedroom. My parents got caught messing around by the cops in like the bushes because they couldn't do it at home. And they're like, "You're married?" They started laughing. All right, I get you. Yeah. So we came here, like, we shared a kitchen with other families. Wow. It was like commune living where we were. Like, So it wasn't like, so they were just used to like hustling, man. So I feel like looking back, of course they made it because they hustled, man. Like I said, we came here, we had I think a couple $100 or something. And then some organization helped us for like a few months or something with like a place to stay, I think. And then my dad was working within a week. He got somebody's driver's license and became a truck driver. Did that for a year, saved up enough money over a couple of years, bought his own truck, eventually bought like 3-4 trucks.
Damn.
Was running his own business, had truck drivers.
Wow.
Like, over the course of like 5-7 years. Then they had a clothing store. He always had his own businesses.
Wow.
Clothing store. Then he did exporting clothing. He started exporting clothing to like Europe and eventually back to Ukraine. Like, he had a warehouse in Ukraine for a while. Like, yeah, like over the course of 20, 30 years, man. Like,
but see the determination.
Because just determination. He had his own warehouse with people working in it. I was like,
wow.
And I would help him, man. We go work at the swap meets every Saturday, Sunday. Like, he made me work too.
Yeah.
Like, he made me tough doing shit I didn't want to do on Saturday, Sunday.
He instilled in you a certain level of discipline because you seen your pops he wouldn't play no games.
No, he didn't play games. Get your fucking ass up.
Yeah.
Get your ass up, wash your ass, and get your ass in the car. We're going to the fucking swap meets, 5 a.m.
Damn.
Oh yeah. And my mom would be like, let him sleep today. What? No. At the time, I hated him for not letting me sleep. But now I'm like, that's what gets you tough. Life is hard. You gotta have some adversity.
Look at what it made you today.
Right.
As far as the father, man.
Yeah,
and the
like
fact that
you're never gonna quit.
Yeah, you're never gonna quit, and you're not running around here complaining.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're not saying, oh my God, woe me. The world is so hard.
Right.
Oh, I should get this, I should have that. You're not acting emotional. You're not somebody who's easily razzled or letting somebody offend you because you've been through a fire that in order to make it through that, there's certain things you had to be instilled with.
Right.
And you're passing that down.
Yeah, I'm trying to pass it down. Like I said, they have different experiences than me, but like my kids, I'm way more Americanized. Like you were saying, how did you integrate? Like, I started going to school in kindergarten to an American school. So within 4 years, I'm like pretty much Americanized. Like I sound American. I watch all the shows. But I always had that grounding of like, my dad was like, he spent time with us, but he was like very, very hard on us too.
Yeah.
And put us down a lot, was negative with us, which I have tried to be better in that regard. Putting the confidence up, but instilling the toughness. That's the balance. Nowadays, now the generation is like, you kind of let your kids, like I see a lot of parents, they're trying to be emotionally intelligent, but they're not. They're letting their kids do whatever they want and the kids don't have a sense of having to earn stuff. So I'm not kidding, like in my kid's 4-year-old, class, like preschool class, I'm concerned for his safety because of some of the kids that have no boundaries. Like they can come up behind you and just like clobber you over the head because the reaction from the parents like, oh, Johnny, let's not clobber mommy over the head. It's like, no. You should tell him, hey, nobody hits me. You should be able to stop your children and say, hey, we don't do that. You still have to, they still need to know who the leader of the like pack is. And I always respect my kids like little adults, man. I'll go, you're a little adult. I'm just trying to help you. But for now, you're learning. You're not making great decisions. That's why I'm the captain for now. Later, you'll be the captain. But you gotta like get them ready for life. A lot of these kids are not ready for life.
Well, they're not ready for life.
If they have to go live on their own, they're not gonna make it. They won't even hold a job.
But Rick, they don't have no respect though. I mean, I never would talk back to my mom, my grandparents. I mean, I would never, if my mom ever heard of me going to the school arguing with a teacher, come on, man, you see these kids now with the phones in the class arguing with the fight with the teachers, cussing their parents out.
Right.
Oh, I told you shut my door.
Yeah.
Shut the door in the house.
Right.
Your room door is open.
Pay for that door.
You don't run shit. It's a level of respect. Even though I was in the streets, man, I was in the streets doing some stuff, and every time I got in trouble, I tried to keep it out of my mom's peripheral, but I never disrespected her. I never called her out of her name. Never called my grandma. I never did that. And these kids now have no respect for adults My mom used to always say, hey, say hi to so-and-so. Did you say excuse me? Did you introduce? You know, there's a level of respect. There's no respect.
Right.
And I think I hold their parents responsible for that, because you're trying to be their friends. You're trying to hang out with them. You're trying to drink with them. You're twerking with them. You're doing all this stuff with them. You're not being a parent. And there has to be a divide.
Yeah. I think you can still be a friend to your kids and still teach them those things. I approach it, I was more heavy-handed before with my older ones. It's an experiment. With my 4-year-old,
Yeah.
I'm definitely much more patient. But I use logic on him. Like, I'm like, if you're gonna talk like that, like, I'm not gonna. I don't want to hang out with someone that talks like that. So, and that makes them change. But the bottom line is, you don't let them get away. You don't just let it go. You have to let them know, hey, that behavior is not gonna get you what you want. I see it from their side. Like, if you're not gonna like say hi to your grandpa and show him respect, you think he's gonna bring gifts? I'm gonna tell him, don't bring him any gifts. For example, you go, oh. Or whatever it is, like, help them figure it out. If you're not gonna do it, or if you got to be heavy-handed, look, every parent's different, right? It depends who you are, where you are. Do the best you can as the person you are for your kids, man. But I definitely know that teaching them that there are no repercussions and that making an effort doesn't matter, and you could just kind of do whatever you want, and people are still gonna like coddle you and cater to you, because that's not real life. In real life, people are gonna be like, excuse me, like, I need that done if you want me to pay for it, right? And you better give me some respect and customer service. So I teach my kids, if you have that, you're gonna do so much better in this game. That gets through to them too.
Now, did your dad steer you into going to college, or did he kind of say, hey, you want to take over the family business? I mean, what
college, bro?
Okay.
I had some, honestly, like, they did the best they could. I feel like for the environment I was living in, it wasn't the best guidance. It was like fear-based. Like, don't be like us. Don't be like us. Too much stress. We have no choice. We don't have the language. But I love being an entrepreneur. Like, I've come back to that now, right? But it's okay. And he wasn't like, hey, what do you love? He was like, you need to be doctor or lawyer. Like, he has this joke. He would tell people, in the Jewish family, you're a doctor or lawyer, or if you're stupid, you're a CPA. Oh, here's my son, the CPA. And that's how he introduced me.
Oh, shit.
It's a joke, but... And he was... I don't want to blame him. It was my fault. I could have done whatever I wanted, but I definitely was influenced by... I just didn't think that way. I chose accounting because I was good at math. And the guidance counselor said, well, you're good at math and, it's a really stable career. And I thought, that makes sense. Never did I say, yeah, but what do I love? What am I good at? I'm a people person. I'm good at math doesn't mean that's what I want to sit there doing in a cubicle, behind a computer. And I think that's one of the things that really, like, one of the things I wanted to say on the last segment I didn't say is, don't be limited by your parents. This is just a message to all the kids out there that don't have effective parenting or effective environment. This isn't to dog their parents, but to just say, if you have that, fuck, great, listen to them. If you don't let that stop you. The information's all out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I totally agree.
It's a very important point, because, like, if kids found someone like you even to go, hey, this is how you can think, this is how you can set up a stronger mindset, how you can deal with things better, and they can figure themselves out, figure out where they're willing to work hard at, like something that's like a passion, obsession, like whether it's cars or coaching or cooking, anything, and take money out of the equation. Even if you think money is the most important thing to you, because I know that's what most kids, I just want to make a lot of money. For what? To live the life you want, right? Okay, well, you're going to be spending the majority of your waking fucking hours, your quality time, working. Am I wrong? When you're done working, you're tired.
That's right.
So you better do some shit that you can enjoy and have a passion for. Otherwise, you're going to be half-assed whatever you decide to be, And most kids don't have that guidance to believe even that they have something to give. Because most kids think, I don't really have anything. I'm not really passionate about anything. That's bullshit. You just got to look for it. You got to figure it out. try different, and don't sit there trying to figure it out either. Go try shit.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah,
work.
yeah,
Go
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Don't sit there, well, I don't know. First idea that comes to your mind, other than something really unsafe, go do it. Go try it.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to definitely get out there and get your feet wet with a bunch of different things. And, you know, having that exposure to different avenues that's maybe not immediately accessible to you. And that's like, you know, maybe like you said, your parents do one thing, but when you get outside of that circle, and a lot of it has to do with, you know, what your surrounding environment is, but you might go and hang out with a friend and maybe find out his dad does this, or you learn this from somebody's uncle, and you know you get to seeing like, hey, maybe I never knew I would like this, but it's definitely getting outside your comfort zone and getting that experience, you know.
Yes.
So
yeah, and that was like, you know, like having like parents from the Soviet Union, right? It's like take as much good as you can from your surroundings, man. Everyone's got something to teach you, but that's one thing, like, you know, figure out your environment is different today than it was for them. And, you know, your parents are limited to what they've been through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So take all the positive, but, you know, it's your game.
there you have it. Big Herc 916, Rick Duchovny, fresh out. You tired of smelling like stanky butt, funky armpits? Wash your ass. Go to FreshOutSeries.com and pick you up a bar of soap.